Numbers don't lie.
Boxing was pretty much a dying sport. Jake Paul, him and his brother, man, these guys have brought boxing back to life.
That kid, Jake Paul's got something.
Got your hat. Got your hat.
The industry changed dramatically.
Jake Paul is good for the sport of boxing, but here's the thing, it isn't really boxing.
They're in it to become spectacles.
The biggest internet event in history!
Did Jake Paul save boxing? In this video, I want to break down the importance of social media in every aspect, but specifically here in sports, and how it's helped Jake and Logan Paul to revive boxing. But before we get into that, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. This video is brought to you by Brand Video Pros Members Lab, an online course that helps brands and influencers scale their influence and sales. So let's begin. Now, if you speak to a lot of boxing experts, once Floyd Mayweather retired, boxing had never been the same. It was a dying breed. Only the hardcore boxing fans, still consumed the content, but the everyday person just really didn't care because, look, when you look at Muhammad Ali, when you look at Mike Tyson, they were all very interesting personalities. When these personalities go in the ring, you want to know who's going to win. You want to know who's going to lose. It makes it dramatic. It creates a story around boxing that draws you in and makes you more interested. Floyd Mayweather had a character as well. And so once he left, there was no real celebridom, no real, interesting character that was also a boxer. No real interesting personality. Enters Jake and Logan Paul. But how did Jake and Logan Paul enter the boxing game? Well, first of all, we have to give it to Joe Weller, who had a boxing match. It got millions of views. And then KSI commented on the video, said, hey, I'll box you next. Then they did a real boxing match in a stadium or in an arena and got so many views, so much attention.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of the Pauls, I don't care. Bring it.
Whichever one of you, I'll fight you. Boom. Enters Jake and Logan Paul. Now, little did KSI know that Jake and Logan were in high school, they were wrestlers. So they were used to playing sports. They were used to playing combat sports. So this was an interesting thing for them. Enters in Jake and KSI, and they bring so much attention. All the beef and the drama are surrounding, this fight. That, how low, these guys, make really low blows. Jake fights Deji, KSI's younger brother. KSI fights Logan Paul, and people pay real money because, look, as much as MMA fighters, boxing fighters, they're all interesting. When there's no story, there's no drama, there's no personality behind the boxer, who really cares, right? Apart from the mainstream lovers of that sport, the average consumer doesn't really care, the average person. So Jake and Logan draw in a big viewership into the boxing community from them being big social media stars. What happens next? Well, Logan Paul just fought Floyd Mayweather this year. Highest pay-per-view of the whole year. Jake with Tyron Woodley, second biggest pay-per-view. Crazy. Insane. So now Jake Paul, the problem child, as much as he's just so annoying.
He got a big booty, that's part of the reason I wanted to fight him. He's thick. He's super thick. I wanted to grip them cheeks low-key when I first saw them.
See?
He was doing a dance routine in his Tyron Woodley media workout. What was that?
That was practice that, right? That must be orchestrated.
That was choreographed.
Even as a YouTuber, he was annoying, let alone as a boxer, threatening people. He's always trolling and he's always doing crazy things. That gets him just always on the Shade Room. It gets him on everywhere. Everyone talks about him because he's so obnoxious. So people just watch because they really just want to see someone knock him out. But it hasn't happened, and now he's undefeated. And he's proven himself, because before they thought they were amateurs, blah, blah, blah. They're not real fighters. But now he's taken on real fighters, and he's really proving himself that he's a good boxer. Now, fair enough, these people that he's fighting with, they're MMA fighters, they're not boxers. And they're retired, or they're just there's just not even hype around them. He's beat 5 people. People are really, it's 5-0. He's beat 5 different people. He's undefeated. And so now he has so much more clout behind him. So where is he going? What's going to happen with boxing and Jake Paul? Well, if you ask me, I think people are taking him very seriously now as a boxer, and he's going to become, well, if he takes it seriously and continues to do this, he could become a really big fighter. According to Logan, he's retired. And really, look, Logan Paul has fought Floyd Mayweather, the biggest boxer in the world. He can't beat that. He's defeated. He's lost all his fights. He's never won. And he played Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition, which is not like, no, there's not going to be declared a winner because Floyd has retired. So that's really the best that Logan could do at this point. And as it stands, look, Jake Paul is the undefeated. So I think people are going to be watching, and people are going to see what happens with Jake. It's all quite interesting, and it's very refreshing to see how boxing is changing. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the above. And my name is Kenim, and see you next time. A peace.